any respect on Dirty Dom's name before.
Screw Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I can't stand him. You hate Taz? You hate Taz? I hate Dom Mysterio. I am seething when I hear that name. I can't stand it. My blood boils at the thought of that mullet, rat-faced, mustache-looking, no good, beer-swilling piece of monkey crap that has ever graced God's green earth. I can't stand him.
Thanksgiving was just canceled.
Damn right it was.
We know not to accept any food now. Who knows what's going to be put in there based on what we just heard?
You know, for the first time ever on Saturday afternoon's main event, this goes back 20 plus years from when it was on a radio station. I think it's time, Phenomenal One, that you will understand your role and know that this show is my show. This belongs to me.
You know what's funny?
Those two guys over there, those are my co-hosts. This is my show. And yet, I've yet to even give it to you. You took it from me because I did not have social media.
You know
so
what?
I'll tell you one thing, Phenomenal One.
I'm not even going to give you the time on my air to go ahead and say what you feel like saying. This right here is me. And let me tell you why exactly. It's just like you said, 20 years ago, back from all of this, yes, those were your guys. This was your show. But you see the key word within all of this in elementary, my dear uncle, because if anything, you taught me how to cut a promo. The fact of the matter is that the key word in all of this is was. You see, I grabbed that imaginary brass ring that you once put up at the rafters for me to get. One that nobody else in the family could ever touch but me, because you see, me, I was the chosen one. I was the one slated to grab it and send it straight up into the stratosphere because I am that damn good. And also, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but you see, you said, oh, those were your guys? So much your guys. Why are they on my air? And the fact of the matter is,
I'm going to cut you off right now.
You know what? No. I'm not done. I'm not done. Because you're going to have to hear this one. This is where it cuts deep. You're afraid to admit it. You are afraid to admit that the fact of the matter is that I can do this better part-time, better than you can ever do it full-time. I said my piece. I digress.
Wow. I'll say this, Phenomenal One. Sometimes the old dog will return to run back his yard.
Oh, really? You ever heard the story of Old
yard,
Yeller?
That yard. Don't forget about Old Yeller, because this ain't.
Oh no, this is definitely
reality.
This is definitely Old Yeller, my friend. This is definitely Old Yeller.
This ain't Old Yeller.
You are way past your prime. Don't worry. All it takes.
I'm gonna return and take
one
back
shot.
my yard.
No, all it takes is one shot, and I'll put you out your misery. Don't worry. As I said, I grabbed that brass ring a long time back. This right here, this is where I stand it. It is August 3rd, 11 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to say it here for everybody that's listening, all 204 people. This right here is mine. For 4 years, it's been a dawn of a new era. And yes, I get it. Yes, you've been on here. Yes, I have allowed you the opportunity to step foot
You've
and
allowed.
sit at your old stopping grounds. But still, you never, and I mean never, bite the hand that feeds you. And you, my friend,
that's good.
That is what
you see, Phenomenal One. Talk a lot, but just remember one thing. I didn't teach you everything. And with that said,
marks the end of same. We'll be here next week for episode 7. It's been fun. You guys enjoy all out tonight.
Phenomenal one. And I just wanted to say this. Next week, I'll see if you allow me to be on. Oh, if that's okay with you.
You can always come on the show.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, no problem. All I have to say, Nate, phenomenal one. Mr. 411, who's decided to get up there for a second. I'll just say this, is that next week, the foundation of Saturday afternoon's main event will be shaken. Next week. Sayonara, bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back. It's Saturday afternoon's main event. Seems like the internet's working. Peeps, can you possibly hear me? I think you can hear me, right?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, Triple C, can you hear me too?
Of course I can. I can hear you loud and clear. Guys. You know, Nate, phenomenal one. 2 weeks ago, I came on this program and I did say to you guys that the foundation of Saturday afternoon's main event would be changed. And folks, I have it right here. It took me a while. What I have in this document, I don't need to take it out, but I have it here. You see, phenomenal one. Hi. You know, it's no secret. Everybody knows this. You are my nephew. We are blood, 100%. Nate, I have known you for a very, very long time. Long before that dude over there became your co-host, because before he was your co-host, I was your co-host. See, a couple of months back, maybe back in September, no, I'm sorry, or in August or something like that, the day of SummerSlam, I remember he decided to have a stream for SummerSlam. But at the end of that show, or the end of the SummerSlam, he came on and he said to me, he can do this, was it part-time, better than I can do this full-time. And that really pissed me off.
I mean,
blood is blood. You shut your mouth. Blood is blood. But now you're about to find out who the hell I am. You see, long time ago, me and H, 411, we were Saturday afternoon's main event. This was my program. This was my show. He came on and he said to me a couple of years ago, hey, Unc, you know, I would like to take this show and I would like to take the name and I would like to, you know, maybe start a podcast. And I said to him, I was like, sure, why not? Go ahead. Go have the show, no problem. But again, back in August, he said to me, he can do this full-time better than I can do this part-time. Oh, it's no Dark Knight. Oh, no. This is the Triple C. This is real. And this is real to me. Here's the bottom line. Phenomenal one. This is my program. This is my show. Saturday afternoon's main event was only given to you part-time. This right here says, this is my show. This is mine. I got this copyrighted. Saturday afternoon's main event is once again in my possession, which means that you are no longer part of Saturday afternoon's main event. You, my friend, nephew, you're fired. You're gone. Goodbye. Saturday afternoon's main event, Nate. Get ready, folks, because in 2 weeks' time, this will be a revamp Saturday afternoon's main event. This will no longer have the phenomenal one. This will be me, the Triple C, right there, the people's nature boy, and Mr. 411 and surprise guests that I will have on this program. Saturday afternoon's main event is no longer about the phenomenal one. It's about the Triple C. Welcome to Saturday afternoon's main event. And you're asking yourself, was this real? Everything you just saw, was that real? You damn right it was real. Folks, everything you just saw, it really irked me. But guess what? That's a thing of the past. But I have to say this. Phenomenal One, you weren't bad. You know, my bloodline, you weren't bad. You did what you had to do for this program. But now it's time for me to take this to another level. See, Saturday afternoon's main event is now in my possession, and now I run this show. Phenomenal One, you know, I have this picture of us a couple of years ago. It's very personal to me, very personal to you, actually. And this was we went to WrestleMania, and as you guys can see, this is where we went to. But folks, the promo package that you just saw, everything that you just saw, guess what? You see this? You see this? You see this? You see this? No more. It's about me. Well, it's a damn shame I couldn't even get him off my damn screen. I think I gotta rip it some more. I don't need him. To hell with him. To hell with the Phenomenal One. You see this guy right here? Oh, well, he's gone. You see this guy? It's about me, the Triple C. Phenomenal One, you've been fired. You're gone. You're out of my life. Good riddance. And now, Saturday afternoon's main event will begin. So now, I will present to you my co-host. He is limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. I'm not giving him 2 alligators, but I can give him a clap, and he is the Peep Snake.
Woo! I guess. Wow. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
There's nothing to say, Nate. The bottom line is this, is that Saturday afternoon's main event is me and you. Although we do have a third co-host, but he had a prior obligation, and that's Mr. Christopher Morton, Mr. 411, but he'll be back next week. And down the road, I will have surprise guests like I have stated in that promo package.
Okay. Well, I pride myself on being as professional as possible, and we both do have a history together. Yeah. So Saturday afternoon's main event will carry on.
Yes,
and we'll just go on and continue to give the fans what we know they want, which is laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible right here on Same once again.
Of course. And of course, Nate, you can do the whole, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and take care of that.
I'll get to that so that the fans that are out there, if you want to get a hold of our show, we're on Spotify. We're also on Instagram at Saturday afternoon _ main event. Or if you want to get us on Twitter or X or whatever the heck they want to call it now, because they keep changing it, it'll be at Saturday Main. So those are the handles if you want to get to us. And for those that are listening to us on Twitch, on YouTube, we thank you for joining us and continue to support Saturday afternoon's main event, where once again, we are having a great Saturday. We can't do it without you guys. So thank you. Okay, Triple C, you got the formalities out of the way.
Yes, I did. Yes,
okay.
I did. I had to toast because of the new dawning and a new era of Same Saturday afternoon's main event. Now,
Okay.
we know what you guys came to listen to. We know what you guys came to watch. We came to give you all the wrestling news possible. And of course, like you said, Nate, I mean, I don't know why you were saying about keeping it professional. I mean, we have teamed up before in the past. Granted, we've never done it here, but Nate, I mean, come on. This is me.
Yes.
Uncle
Yes.
Triple C.
I understand. And I think we can probably have a whole lot of fun with this. So
yes, we will.
Why don't we go ahead and do that and give us another great Saturday afternoon?
All right. So first order of business, it is now Wrestling Crash Course. Well, listen, I don't have an editor, but it's okay. It is what it is. You know,
I understand.
I need to get some things moving, but it'll take a little while. But anyway, so Nate, looks like AEW, WB have reached an agreement.
Yes.
Thoughts,
I tell you. Yes. The one thing that this was probably the worst kept secret in all of the wrestling world, because we knew that this negotiation was going on. We knew what was going to happen. And I think that AEW needed to get this taken care of so that they can go and charter forward, knowing WWE is walking away from everything right now as far as getting their merchandising, the TV deals. We know that they're moving Raw to Netflix. They had to get this taken care of, and they weren't going to get the same money that they got with the last deal that they did back in 2019. So this one goes into effect as of 2025. They're going to make roughly $185 million each year of this deal starting next year. They're going to start streaming AEW on Max, and their pay-per-views are going to be on there as well. So at least they're moving forward and getting themselves together to try to get more money back into the company and then kind of bring it back to their TV deals and then use that as leverage. What do you think as far as that deal being finally done? Do you think it's actually good for AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery, or do you think they got fleeced?
Well, I don't think that they got fleeced, considering that me, you, Mr. 411, we have like a text thread, and we have talked about some of their ratings and things like that. The one thing I have to say about AEW, what is the cost going to be to get AEW on on the streaming service? Will it be coincide with was it Cinemax, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think it'll probably be part of anybody that has a Max subscription.
But what if you don't?
Yeah, if you don't, then it's going to probably be about $20, I would think, because with that being done, Max is going to probably end up increasing the price of a subscription. Now, obviously, if you have cable or satellite and you're already subscribed to it,
right, you're
already going to be able to have access to Max. It's just going to go up in price, probably about $10. So.
Well, the way I look at it is like, is AEW, I mean, at that cost, I mean, granted, we're, it's preliminary. We're just throwing some numbers out there, but anything more than WWE, I believe that's not, it's a waste of time, because obviously there are some diehard AEW fans, and I know there are some diehard AEW fans that do watch this program also. But I mean, if you're spending $10, whatever, between $6 to $10 for WWE on Peacock, or if you have Netflix already, you're spending, roughly about $14. So, once Raw goes over there. So in total, I guess you'd be spending in the neighborhood of about $20 between Netflix, Raw, and, the rest of their WWE library on Peacock. But for AEW, you think that, I mean, a lot of fans would want to spend that much for AEW to watch? Do you think that's possible?
Well, the diehard fans are going to do it regardless. I mean, if you think about it, the diehard fans that are the ones, as they call themselves, the sickos, if you will, if those are the guys that are going to be paying for it anyway, for them, it doesn't make a difference. It's those that are sitting on the fence as to wondering, is this product worth the extra price based on what we were watching for the previous 5 years? Will you leverage that against, like you said, the amount of money that you would pay for Peacock? Now, eventually, all of AEW's library is going to move over to Max, because starting next year, they're going to start putting, I guess, Dynamite will start to stream, I believe, live on Max, and then all of the old pay-per-views and all of the old shows will start to kind of propagate on the network properly. So if you're that type of fan and you missed out on a pay-per-view some years ago, when they start putting it on the on Max, will that be of value to that fan? Probably. It's trying to get those that are not readily available to that structure, since seemingly everything is moving towards streaming. That's what I think is the value of everything right there.
I see one of our listeners, Taekwon, says the Max pay-per-views still aren't free. The pay-per-views are just discounted. Right. I mean, I guess people call them premium live events. So, yeah, he is correct with that. I mean, you know, the PLE's pay-per-views, you know, I mean, you're still paying for it, but at least you're not paying, you know, $49.99, you know, $60, you know, for every single month for a pay-per-view. So, you're still, in a way, getting your bang for a buck, because it's not just, if you, for example, if you're watching on Peacock, you're not just watching WWE content. You're also watching, if you like the NFL, if you have, you know, they have movies and different shows on Peacock. So you're not just paying for that also. Yeah.
So the entire package, you have to leverage how important is a Max subscription to you to then say, oh, just like that's part of everything. Like with Peacock, they have movies and TV shows. Oh, and by the way, you can watch every WWE premium live event for the year if you so choose to. So that's there. Oh, and by the way, we also have the library of shows and TV shows and documentaries and older content that we're constantly curating and adding to the network. So as AEW gets into this deal, that's the one thing that they're going to continue to do, and hopefully shape that around that section of the app for those that want it, because they're already putting sports like the Bleacher Report on the network as well. You can get sports there as well.
Right. Next thing is that outside of that, we have what's the next thing? My production assistant guy, the NXT's debut on the CW. So Nate,
yes.
I know you're gonna get to the ratings because I know you're Mr. Ratings guy. What was your overall thought of the whole NXT debut on CW?
NXT did not feel like NXT. NXT, it felt to me like a SmackDown show. It felt big. The charm that NXT has always portrayed on their television broadcasts, going back to when they were on the network, was being at the Performance Center, being at Full Sail, and having that smaller audience, so it kind of had an indie feel almost. When they brought it out, because they were in Chicago, and they got a huge fan base there, rabid fans that love NXT, that love wrestling, and also didn't hurt that CM Punk was there as well.
Of course.
I think watching it on TV, it felt like NXT is here, and it's over the air free television, not just on cable, where you're going to have a much bigger audience for those that maybe they didn't see NXT or didn't know what it was, but they do know that it's connected to WWE. And right now, the only over-the-air free TV arm for any WWE product will be NXT going forward, since SmackDown moved to USA Network. That's got to be huge.
100%. I definitely agree with you because, again, I know we live in a world where, listen, you can watch wrestling on the internet. You know, you can watch it free. There's a lot of different sites and, you know, that you can watch it. But bottom line, having NXT on free television, that's only going to help. And
oh, yes.
I know, you know, you can talk about the ratings real quick before we get to our next topic.
Yes.
And what did NXT do on Tuesday?
Well,
again, with Major League Baseball, with the playoff games, and I know you're going to talk about AEW's ratings with also a bunch of playoff games on Wednesday. So maybe take it away.
I'll show you the idea of what NXT did the week before. Their last showing on USA Network, which, by the way, from what we've read, had problems that they almost didn't even air. But NXT showing up on their last week on USA Network, they did 620,000. But that's roughly about the number that they get, between 630, 640 in that neighborhood. On their debut on the CW, they did 895,000 people for a debut. Juxtapose those 2 weeks, as you just stated, they were up against baseball, They were up against a lot of other sports. They were up against the vice presidential debate, which took a lot of audience from anybody watching anything else on television. Right. So to get those kinds of numbers going up against that is supremely impressive. Supremely impressive.
Huge.
Yes.
And what about AEW on Wednesday?
AEW, we're talking just one day later, did 680,000.
Without a vice presidential debate, and they went up against the same thing NXT went up against, which was like the baseball playoffs. I believe the WNBA playoffs also started. So that, to me, right there says everything, because, again, NXT, we can say whatever you want. I understand it's under the WWE umbrella, but it is the third brand. It is not the A show or the B show. And you have a bunch of wrestlers that are there right now that, to be fair and to be honest, there's a lot of people that don't know who some of these athletes are. You know, but being on free TV, that's going to help. And don't get me wrong, I understand, you know, if they were on USA every single Tuesday, so it's not like, you know, a lot has changed. But again, free TV is huge for NXT.
Yes, very, very big. And that's what they need to get that product even higher to where they're at. So when they start doing their premium live events, more people will know about them. And if they love the product, they'll go to Peacock and watch it.
Now, as far as NXT goes, the overall show, how impressed were you with, you know, all the matches and the way it went?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved every part of the show. As I've talked about on the show before, I love production and the camera angles and the camera work, and then showing the wrestlers getting out of their cars in the parking lot and showing them walking by, seeing other wrestlers that are associated with other storylines hanging out in the background, just talking or saying something cute as they're going in. Next camera, going to this and going to that, and then integrating all of that. And then the other part of the production that they also do with NXT, which they've been doing with all of the WWE programming, which is what AEW used to do, which is showing on the screen the on-screen bug of other matches that happened earlier in the show, or a big announcement that was made for a premium live event match. The rankings of how many matches this person has had against this person, if this is their third title match. Those kinds of things give it that sports feel that they've been looking to do and incorporate with this show. And that's the thing that they're doing better than anyone else right now.
Again, this is Saturday afternoon's main event. Me and Peep Snake here. So as far as the title changing hands, were you thrilled with that? Were you happy, or would you want to see Ethan Page continue on the reign?
I think they built Ethan Page up just enough to be a foil so that when Trick won it again, there would be even more of a groundswell for him when he did win it. It would feel even more organic than when he first won the belt. I think I would have liked to have seen Ethan Page hold on to the belt, but I know it's the first show on a new network, which is kind of signifying the new face of NXT and Trick Williams going forward. I love that. That's not going to preclude a rematch having him win the belt again from Trick at some point, because Ethan Page, every time I've seen him, and I made this kind of a association, he reminds me of Gino Hernandez.
Gino, wow.
Yes, I'm going there. Yes, back to the mid-'80s, part of the dynamic duo with himself and Tully Blanchard in World Class and going back into the Southwestern wrestling. He has that snide part of it.
Didn't we used to call each other the dynamic duo when we used to do a radio show?
Yes, the dynamic duo.
In the late 90s, that's where we got that name from. The dynamic duo. That's right.
Yes. There's still people wondering where the dynamic duo went, you know?
Right. There you go. now it has returned. I'm saying, considering that the Phenomenal One is a piece of garbage and he's down in the dumps, and now I'm hosting Saturday afternoon's main event like I am supposed to be. I am back to where I belong. But anyway, Nate.
That's personal stuff between you two. I'll leave it there.
It's okay.
But
go ahead.
I think looking at what we saw with Ethan Page, I think for the 3 months that he's been champ, because he won the belt back in July.
Right.
I think he's done a great job coming in the suits and ties, walking out with the belt and sunglasses, basically telling everybody this isn't NXT, this is NX Me. Reminds me so much of Gino Hernandez. I thoroughly enjoyed that run, and I hope he gets another run with the NXT Championship. Even if it's another short run, I think he would deserve another one.
Well, speaking of champions, we did get crowned a new champion. Much deserved. Jey Uso, Nate, finally has a singles title. He is the new Intercontinental Champion. How does that sound to you and to all the masses here at Saturday Afternoon's Main Event?
Yes, that was absolutely insane. That was absolute. The way that when he won the belt, and to see the fans and how organic it was, and then for him to come out on TV after he won the belt, and they gave him like a 5-minute standing ovation. They just the crowd would not calm down. There was genuine love in the air for him when he came out there and did a tremendous job just showcasing. When we see wrestlers get built up to win a singles championship, it's like, okay, I see where it's going. I see what they want to do. This felt organic. And even though it was Braun Breaker that he won the belt from,
right?
I think Braun has actually outgrown the Intercontinental Championship in that short amount of time.
So, in other words, you're already looking at Braun in the heavyweight title picture. I know they're teasing it with Gunther, but you're looking at Braun already in the world
correction.
Title
picture? Walter. There you go.
But Taekwon here, man. Well, peeps. So all he remembers was the Anthony won the women's title. That's actually pretty good. I like that. That's actually pretty good.
Yes. Taekwon is back on his game, man.
I actually like that. That's an awesome comment right there.
Yes.
I'll say this. With Jey winning the title, it kind of come full circle for him. He is now, a singles champion. What he does with this run, we'll see moving forward. Although I will say this, when it comes to Jey Uso, his first title defense, I guess you could run it back with Breaker, but if you're saying like you feel that he already moved on, and I guess we're teasing him with Gunther, or excuse me, Walter. So maybe he's gonna head into that direction. But in your opinion, if it's not Breaker, as far as his first title defense or his next feud, where do you see Jay's title run going, and who do you see him facing as far as his first title defense?
Ooh, that's a good one. Knowing right now,
that, Nate, I'll tell you right now. I think the person that he should face is, to me, the greatest North American champion of all time, Dom Mysterio. What a champion Dom would make for North America and for all the international people out there, and for the intercontinental world out there. Yes, there's an intercontinental world out there. My boy, Dom Mysterio.
And the crazy part about after that entire rant, I was actually going to go there and say that he probably should be defending it against Dom. And the reason why I say that,
my tag team partner, Nate, not that piece of garbage, phenomenal one. Lord. You know what, Nate? You're not that bad. You're not that bad.
I thank you. I thank you. There we go.
And my boy, look at that. Exactly. Christopher Morton, Mr. 411. He's checking in. TTB.
Wow. That's that. I don't know what to say. Well,
folks, it is Saturday afternoon's main event. We are pretty much done with Wrestling Crash Course. I guess we will take a quick break, and we will be right back with your questions here on Saturday afternoon's main event. That's the Peep Snakes. I'm Uncle. Remember, folks, Uncle Triple C. We'll be right back after this. We are back here, Saturday afternoon's main event. People's Nature Boy, Peace Nate, me, Uncle Triple C. You guys out there listening, watching, we appreciate you guys. Saturday afternoon's main event. Well, Nate, you can take it away.
Of course. Well, you know all of the regular handles that are there scrolling on the bottom of the screen as you usually see me point to the bottom of it, of course. You know, Instagram and Twitter, X, or whatever you want to call it, Spotify. If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, the handles are on the screen. You know what they are. So go there and engage with us and enjoy the show because it's a Saturday afternoon. And there's no Saturday afternoon without a main event like us right here on Saturday. So there you go.
There you go. Exactly right. People's Nature, me, Uncle Triple C, 411, you guys there watching us. Same. Nothing like it. Yes. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate that. So again, folks, I'm not that bad. Believe you me. You guys will just grow to appreciate Uncle Triple C. Because again, there is no reason to have the phenomenal one because he is of no more. Again, I have promised you guys, as the time goes on, you guys will begin to see we will have guests, we will have other people here on the show. So believe you me, don't feel bad, don't feel depressed, because there's no reason to be depressed, because Phenomenal One is no more. Because I already blocked him. I blocked his number. Believe you me, his mom's been calling me. I don't need to pick up the phone because I don't care what my sister has to say. Because who is she to me? It doesn't matter. It's about me, Uncle Triple C, saying nothing like it.
Well,
now that we've taken care of that, go ahead, Nate.
Okay, now I guess now that we've taken care of that, the next part of the show is where we usually will get to our questions. And the fans that are, without question, some of the best that come out here and actually give us their questions and wants us to answer and engage with them and find out what was going on in the world of wrestling. So this is a question segment. This is probably one of my favorite, as always, favorite segments of the show. First question, let's see. Tombstone City Adam. Let's see. So much for blood being thicker than water. Triple C, how could you do that? That's a good question.
First of all, what do you mean, Nate? That's a good question. You know, Nate, watch yourself. Bottom line is this, is that Tombstone City Adam, listen, this is my program. This is my show. I do what's best for SAME. What was best for SAME 25 years ago was when me, Nation 411, did a show over the air on a radio in Brooklyn. Okay, bottom line, we did what we had to do. It was great for that time. Then what happened? Phenomenal One, my nephew, he asked me to do this program. So I said, give him the blessing. Sure, go ahead, do the show. But then he insulted me and disrespected his uncle. But now, like I said, it's my show. Next question.
Okay. You want to get this one?
Master Sean 007, greetings to Uncle Triple C and Peace Nate. What are your thoughts on wrestlers' contracts being extended because of injury? Is it actually legal? You don't hear it being done in any pro sports leagues. Nate?
Well, that's been the case over the last couple of years, especially on the dawn of WWE, especially during the Vince McMahon era of trying to kind of hoard wrestlers away from going to AEW. That was one of the kind of the things that he would do to try to make sure that these guys wouldn't leave to potentially harm him and help his competition. We know that because a lot of wrestlers have actually had that happen where their contract is about up, they're ready to go, and then all of a sudden somebody adds, oh, well, you were injured for 4 months out of the contract that you had. I'm going to tack those 4 months on to your contract so that you don't leave beforehand, potentially miss some sort of a payday elsewhere, knowing that while your brand is hot, you're not going to be able to hurt us. I understand why it's done. I don't like it, but that's one of those things that we see happen, especially in WWE. At least that happened in the McMahon regime. What do you think?
Well, really and truthfully, they are independent contractors. So yes, a contract is a contract. Again, the wrestling promoters, they kind of hold, that advantage over the independent contractors. Yeah, and if you watch the Vince McMahon documentary, so they talked about, having a union, and we can get to that also maybe today or maybe, sometime down the road, for people that maybe haven't seen the whole Vince McMahon documentary yet. But as far as it being legal, I mean, there's nothing in the law books that said it's not. So, again, wrestling promoters can do what pretty much that, whatever they want, because again, they are independent contractors. So, there's not a law-abiding agreement that says that, if they get hurt in the amount of time, unless they have it written in their contracts, that, okay, well, whatever is written down in their contracts, well, this is what it is. So personally, it might not be the popular choice, but I do side with the promoter than the independent contractor, which would be the wrestlers.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think that when people were hurt, they were kind of sandbagging it to get out of a contract so that they can go to the competition and get a bigger deal, etc. I think that a lot of the promoters feel that they're trying to protect themselves and protect their business by doing something like that, independent of them leaving the company. So if you are one of those people that sides on business or somebody that like a corporation, that they figure, well, you owe me these amount of dates, but you weren't there to fulfill those dates. That's one thing. Then we get into the conversation of what an independent contractor is and kind of the hypocrisy of calling somebody an independent contractor when they're signed on to a contract exclusive to a company. But that's another argument for another day. I digress. There's the first one for the day. There you go.
First one for the day.
First one for the day.
Nate, I don't expect you to I digress too much. But then again, I'm sure Phenomenal One is I digressing probably since 2 weeks ago. Man, what a day. What a day. So that's question number 2. Question number 3. So, Long Island Isaiah. Nate, take it away.
Okay. He got it. Let's see. He got it fair. You can't knock his
far, Nate. You can't
yes.
read. Don't insult me. Don't embarrass me here on Same.
You can't knock his feat of 2,000 followers or his sense of calling pro wrestling. You did him wrong, and you should be ashamed of yourself, Triple C. I hate you. Wow. That is very strong terminology. You want to respond to that? Well, like I said before, whatever's going on with you two, that seems to be personal. But if you want to address it, again, you can. You can answer this one.
First of all, I am here in New York City. So that name right there, I see Long Island Isaiah. So I'm going to assume you are living in Long Island, New York. You suck. That's number 1. Number 2, mind your damn business. Number 3, hate is a very strong word. And the fact that you say you hate me, man, that means I must be doing something good. Because Long Island Isaiah, here's the bottom line. You're watching me, and I don't give a damn what you or anybody else have to say. Because here's the truth, Long Island Isaiah. Fuck you.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, that happened. Okay, we have any more questions?
Now, as far as Saturday afternoon's main event, CTB. You guys want to know what CTB means? You can tune in next week, and we can tell you about that for next week. But as far as today, Nate, is there anything else that was on your mind, wrestling related? Any questions? Anything that you want to know, or anything that you want to spill as far as to our audience here on Same?
Well, I guess if you want, we could go into our predictions for Bad Blood, which is happening today, later on this afternoon.
6 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Pacific.
There you go.
4 o'clock Mountain. And as far as what is the Central Time Zone, 5 o'clock Central Time Zone. So there you go. I give you all the as far as the U.S. Time zones go.
Yes, there you go.
First match, Nate. So to me, I believe this is the main event of Bad Blood: Punk versus Drew.
Yes, Punk and Drew, without question, violent feud. I love the way they built this whole thing.
I
The
need
way
to get my
everything.
editor. Sorry, I'm gonna get my editor off the screen. I want to see myself on a full screen. Yes, can my editor? Can you take that screen out? Because I want to see myself full screen. Yeah, go ahead, Nate. Yes.
Okay. Basically, the way that this feud has gone, if you're going to look at it in the sense of who has one up who, where this has gone, and the eventual end, because this has to be the last match between these two for this feud. And if you're going to have this feud the way it is right now, there's only one way that this can end, and that's with CM Punk winning. Because how it's kind of built up, we've had Drew win, we've had CM Punk win the last match, we've seen the one-upsmanship that they've done in between on Raw, and what they've done with Punk going all the way to Europe to cost Drew McIntyre a championship match. So for this to happen, inside that Hell in a Cell, there's going to be blood, there's going to be hurt, there's going to be pain, and there has to be a decisive winner to come bring this to a conclusion. And I think CM Punk has to be the one to win this one. So I'm penciling in Punk.
I'm actually torn with this. Yes, I do see the logic of Punk winning, because to me, the eventual down the line for Punk would be him main eventing WrestleMania, either night 1, night 2. You figure night 1 for the WWE for the World Heavyweight title. You figure that will be for him down the line, whether it's Rollins or if it's Walter. Yeah, I mean, what do you see happening tonight? Do you see an appearance by AJ Lee, maybe? If not,
I would love to see that, at least at ringside or in the crowd or somewhere where she's kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I feel nervous, but I'm here to defend my husband and our dog. Yeah, that would be something.
You know, if I was Drew, I would drop kick that dog.
Oh, good grief! That's what. Claymore the dog.
There you go. Next match, Damian. Actually, before we get to Damian Priest, forget all that. Let's get to the second match. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline, Solo and Jacob Fatu. What is your thoughts, Nate, as far as this? Is this your main event or is it your co-main event?
I think if they want to, they can call it a co-main event, but they only have 5 matches on the card. So if Bad Blood truly, personally, I would have made the Hell in a Cell the main event.
Yeah.
But based on the way that they kind of booked this stuff over the last week or so, I'm thinking that this is going to be the main event. And if they are making this match the main event, something else is going to happen, or namely someone else is going to happen. Because to have that happen, the Bloodline would have to win, and somebody else would have to come in and cost Cody and Roman the match. Whether it's Kevin Owens, who's got beef with Cody at some point,
right,
or they bring in another member of the Bloodline to continue to add to this. Or maybe, as the sword of Damocles hanging over, maybe it's somebody that's still already in the Bloodline that nobody's thinking about that could show up.
So, in other words, you're looking at either KO coming in to possibly cost Cody the match, the way Cody inadvertently cost KO the match a week ago.
Yes.
Or you're looking at either a Zilla Fatu, maybe appearing on WWE programming, or a Jimmy Uso, who we haven't seen since WrestleMania. Or I should say WrestleMania, well, the week after WrestleMania. You know, to avenge, Solo's bloodline.
Yes. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, and it makes sense because Solo's bloodline, for them to stay relevant, they have to win matches, and they've been counting the lights a lot lately. So,
by the way, shout out last night, the main event, the tag team title match, the 3-way.
Oh yes,
that was amazing.
Yes,
great match. I
Chef's
thought on
kiss.
SmackDown.
Chef's kiss. Great match.
Next match here on for tonight for Bad Blood. You know what? Let's get to the women for a second. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. And let me tell you something. Adam Pearce. I have a big problem with Adam Pearce. There is no reason that my boy, the greatest North American champion of all time, should be in a cage. My boy has served hard times. My boy has served hard times.
Served hard times?
Yes, he has served hard times. Who's Dusty Rhodes? God, listen, rest his soul. But are you kidding me? My boy Dom has served so much hard times. He was locked up. I mean, he was in prison. He was in prison. And for the fact that they want to lock up Dom, are you kidding me? All the Adam Pearce had to say was like, he could just stay in the back and he doesn't interfere. That's all he had to say. So
and you really believe that he'll stay in the back when he has an opportunity to help his woman out?
Well, I mean, listen, the bottom line is that, listen, say what you want, but Liv, unlike that whatever you want to call her, Rhea, okay? Unlike her, at least Liv has helped Dom, I'm saying, achieve something, and that's defeating that deadbeat father of his, that masked man, he calls himself a Hall of Famer. Do you not think that Dom is not only worthy to be called a Hall of Famer, but he's the champion of champions? Don't you agree? I'm glad you agree, Nate. But anyway, the match is about Liv and Rhea. Who do you think is coming out on top?
I actually have a feeling, somehow, some way, I have a feeling that Liv somewhere, somehow, even with Dom in that cage, is going to try and eke it out at least once more. Because I think they want to pull this towards the Survivor Series. If Rhea is going to win the belt, I think they're going to have her do it at the next Premium Live event. So I'm going to actually go on a limb and say that Liv wins somehow, some way. Maybe Dom pulls a chain out or something from the Shark Tank and tosses it to Liv, something along those lines. I think that's what may probably happen.
What has become to me a good feud, I felt that we could have gone maybe a little bit more verbiage between Finn and Damian Priest.
Yes.
I actually like the verbal assaults, the back and forth.
Yes.
That match, I think it's gonna be a quality match. I think they should have gotten a little bit more airtime verbally. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the beatdown of Damian, so you kind of figured Damian might come out on top in this feud or in this match tonight. But I feel like this is kind of been like the not underwhelming. I haven't think that the feud has been underwhelming, but I think that you could have gone a little bit even more deeper in this feud. Your thoughts?
Yes. Yeah, I think that the way that they planned it out has been good, and they've shown you subtle hints back and forth over the last year of kind of what they've been trying to do with Finn and dropping hints of what they wanted to do with Damian. And now Damian and then Finn Balor, the way that everything is going, it sets up perfectly for them to have a match that could probably steal the show based on the talent of both guys and making it seem so personal. The same way we talked about how an organic looking feud makes for a better match and better results. This has that potential just based on the fact that it just looks so personal. And I think that the way that they've done it, the verbal sparring between the two of them has elevated what they do in ring. And now the in-ring work is getting better because of it. That's what I think happened. So as far as who's going to win this match, I have a feeling that Damian will probably end up winning this match, because if Liv wins her match previously, depending on the order of the matches, I think that Damian will probably feel he needs to avenge Rhea. So I think in this particular match, I think that he will go over on Finn. So I'm looking at Priest winning.
I think this match will go on first. We'll see. Our next match was what is it? 4 matches. Our next match will be Nia Jax versus Bayley. For the women's title, for the WWE Women's title. This match, actually, I think it's has been a real good feud. I like the way Bayley has needled Nia with the obviously, with Trish Stratus, Stratton, excuse me, possible interference, try to cash in with the Money in the Bank. This is, to me, actually has been low key pretty good feud.
Yes, it has. And I think that it's always that caveat of who is working who. Is Tiffany holding back because she wants to wait until Nia is compromised to go after the championship? She's got a year to cash that in. So she doesn't even have to cash it in against Nia Jax or Bayley, whoever wins this match. But she's starting to show that she is an opportunist, but also the way that they've been portraying her, I should say, is that in this dynamic, she's being bullied by Nia. And I think Nia comes across well on camera as that bully because of her size and how imposing she is in these matches. But that goes to show you how good all three of them are in this feud. But in the background, we know Tiffany is going to cash in at some point. Will she do it tonight? I'm not sure. But I think going forward, if Bayley loses, you're not going to see a cash in.
All right. I think Nia retains to continue. I guess the angle with Tiffany. So we'll see. One thing, I mean, it might be subtle. It might not be much of anything, but I know the women's tag team titles, the women's tag champions, Bianca and Jade and Naomi will be hosting Bad Blood. But I have a problem, and I continue to have a problem with, granted, last night is the exception. Yes, the tag titles were the main event on SmackDown. There were no Roman, no Cody, no KO, no RKO. So they gave the tag titles about a good 30 minutes, for SmackDown last night. But I still have a problem, to me, with the tag titles, men's or women's, not being defended on a premium live event. I do have a problem with that. I feel like at least one of those titles should be defended.
Yes.
Thoughts?
And that's the thing that the WWE, mostly Triple H, has got to do a little better of a job of, because especially of all of the championships, tag team titles don't get defended as often on premium live events or at WrestleMania for that matter. I mean, obviously, we're starting to see that a little more over the last year or so, but just in general, there has to be better use of champions other than showing up and in one, especially this is the thing I hate the most. Tag team champions and only one of them is wrestling and their partner is coming to the ring with them. Or then the next match is their other partner is going to have a singles match and then that partner is coming down to the ring with. Just let them wrestle in tag matches. Even if there's not title matches, at least let the tag team champs wrestle someone on television at some point. And just showcase the fact that they have belts. They got belts for a reason. Show them. That's something.
I definitely totally agree. So looking forward, Bad Blood should be fun tonight. 6:00 Eastern Standard Time, 3:00 Pacific, 4:00 Mountain, 5:00 Central. So depending on whatever time zone that you're on. So WWE Bad Blood tonight in Atlanta, Georgia. So should be fun tonight. Should be good. I do like the fact that WWE going a little early. That's good. But number two, the fact is that it's only 5 matches tonight. You're gonna give them the quality time and let those wrestlers tell a good story. And I expect good matches and hopefully the continuing build to obviously for WrestleMania next year. But obviously right now. This is good times for WWE.
Yes, and there's going to be a lot of drama in every match, which, like you said, gives them enough time to build, gives them the time that they need, and also at the same time, you don't bog down everybody because, let's really be honest, today, as far as just a sports in totality, baseball playoffs, college football, UFC, now we have wrestling. It's a big show, a big day. So if you're going to watch wrestling, that's a perfect slot. 6:00. It's almost like the way it used to be at TBS 6:05 Eastern on the Superstation. That's kind of like what they're doing with this.
100%. So I believe that's pretty much it, Nate. Anything else you need to add?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I think we've covered everything that we can pretty much cover on a Saturday afternoon, especially for all those folks out there that have joined us and that have watched us. Thank you for joining us in. It's kind of like moving the furniture around, getting kind of used to the new setup and everything. But I guess we'll get the hang of it. Hey, we've been doing this show together, us two, as co-hosts years ago. So it's like riding a bike.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the first edition of the Uncle Triple Sierra CTB Saturday Afternoon's Main Event.
Yes.
So right there, this is
Peeps Nate.
I am Uncle Triple C for Mr. 411 and for the future guests possible that will appear on here. This, my friends, is Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. Hey, Nate.
We came.
We showed up.
That's it. I figured you liked that one.
I love it, Nate. Thank you very much for going old school. Guys, thank you for the house. We'll see you next week. Saturday Afternoon's Main Event.